So how long have you been doing this kind of stuff?
Well, I've been qualified as a gestalt therapist since 2006, so that's 5 years. And I have been involved in counselling since 1988,
Wow.
89. So I know I don't look that old, and I know that was going to be the next question. How old am I really? But my first work was in Yorkshire in a place for it was a community, a therapeutic community, and so I was counselling then at that stage, and I started my training actually then in 1988. So I've been involved with personal development groups and offering personal development for some time. But yeah, actually as a qualified gestalt psychotherapist, that would be 5 years.
Right. Okay. And practicals. How long do your sessions last?
An hour.
And how often do they happen?
Usually once a week.
Okay.
I do offer people the opportunity to do more frequent work, particularly at the start of the work. As I said earlier, the effectiveness of the therapy, the progress that we make, is very much dependent upon the relationship.
Right.
So what I do offer, and I think at the moment about a third of my clients at the moment are doing this, where they would see me twice a week.
Right.
And that would, the way I see that and the way it works well for them, is that it accelerates the relational process. It gives us an opportunity to get to know each other much more quickly, and it seems to keep the work gives the work some momentum as well.
Okay.
And we would review that after 4 to 6 weeks and just make sure that that's again appropriate and the people are getting what they need from that.
Okay. And is there any question, a really good question I haven't asked yet, and I really should ask?
You come up with some good questions this morning, Andy. What a good question that you haven't asked. Does it work?
Okay, so does it work?
Does it work? Yeah. Yeah. It really does, and it's and I suppose I'm saying that with a mixture of surprise and delight.
Yeah.
You may often hear gestalt therapists, possibly other therapists too, but working in gestalt circles, I hear them say more. Trust the process, and I do trust the process, and as I trust it, and I encourage my clients to trust it, I see change, and I see them shifting in ways that they really didn't expect to shift, and that's a very common feature with clients who come to work here, is that it's delightful to see the shift in them, and I guess my intuition is often telling me that that there's been a shift. It's quite often it's difficult to put your finger on what the shift has been.
Yeah.
But you can just tell there's been a change, and the client knows that there's been a change. So yeah, it's lovely to see that change, and a number of changes can happen in the work in the time that we're working together. And again, it's not always to do with the changes that they were expecting or in the way that they were expecting. It's almost sometimes as if clients and I find themselves in almost like a completely different frame of reference. It's like another world almost, yeah. Which I guess is to do with the reconnecting. It's to do with people. Excuse me. It's to do with people finding themselves again. At the risk of sounding cliche, but I think that's what it's about, actually, reconnecting with the self. The other thing, which I guess I would also say that you might have asked, is that I see the work, particularly around Gestalt, working on a number of levels. One would be the counselling level, for which we're looking at things like bereavement, things like relationship work, things like family work, things like, you might say, depression. And then we can go a little bit deeper into what, again, as a Gestalt therapist, I would talk about as being existential work. So that's a sense of who I am, my purpose in the world, where I connect, where I disconnect, self-awareness, really getting a sense of my process, and that can help very much with relational work. And then the level below that, I would say, getting onto a deeper level of spiritual work, actually, which I would see as being a deeper sense of who I am, my existence, how my purpose in life, the meaning of life, and so on. And again, that doesn't happen for all clients. They choose their own level. But then during the journey, if I could call it a journey of personal development, the client could, if you like, dip in and out of any of those levels at any time. I think what I like about, I guess, what I offer here is that there's the freedom for people and the opportunity for people to choose whatever level they want to go to, without any pressure to do that. No pressure, but I think part of my job is to challenge and to really try and keep people on the learning edge, if you like, if they choose to be there. Again, that's done in contract, if you like, that we agree that's okay, and if they don't want that, then fine. I do my best to back off and leave them to be where they need to be.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that you'd like to add just as a way of wrapping up?
Well, I think I've said most of what I guess what I believe and what I offer. And that, if anybody's watching this quite long movie now, I think, and would like to be in touch, then certainly, give me a call. All the details are on the website. I won't put those out here. And I'd be more than happy to see anybody who just wants to pop along anyway. I do get people coming along to talk about careers advice as well, in terms of counselling and how to make a move there. So I'm very, very happy for people just to get in touch. And thank you very much, Andy, for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
Okay.